December 12th, 2024. Cheers. So, I gotta show you, I got this yesterday. I was really excited. I got Epic Collection, the Silver Surfer, the Herald Ordeal. I saw this on Amazon a couple of months ago. I saw it was slated for a December release, and I was like, man, I'm getting it. I have one issue. I have the last issue in this storyline, the Herald Ordeal. Issue 75, where that's like the culmination of everything. So I know what happens at the very end. And it's a comic. I just flip through and I'll read that one part what happens. It's so good. It makes me sad too. Like who dies, how they die, and then it just gets real, not brutal like gore or stuff, but there's a villain who just, I really like what he says when he has to kill someone. So I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm kind of saving it. I got a lot of stuff to read on my plate. So I just wanted to show you that. Go pick it up. It's only $44.99. But it's worth it to me to have it. Like all these surfer collections are worth it to me. So maybe it'll be worth it to you. So I'm going to defend KRAVEN the Hunter. I went and saw it today. I went to the first showing. And it's been real slow at work. I was hoping I would get out early. I wanted to go to the first showing. I also wanted to walk my mom's dog, because we've been going every day for like the last 2 months, and she really looks forward to it. So I took her, got back by 2. The movie started at 3:10, so I pretty much, for some reason I thought it was going to be, it could be packed, I don't know. So I got there a little early. There's a couple of people there, not too many. And it's no like Captain America the Winter Soldier. I liked it because I like KRAVEN so much. I was thinking about it like I was because of KRAVEN's Last Hunt. It's an amazing story. It's so good. None of that is in here except for like one little part where they have to connect it to Spidey somehow. There's a part where he's hallucinating and he just imagines spiders all over him. And it's not done as good as in the comic. Man, I don't know if I reviewed KRAVEN's Last Hunt. It's so good. It's definitely one of my top 10 favorite stories of all time. And after reading it again, it's more like a horror story. But then you get into KRAVEN's brain like so much. It's totally his story, and the movie is nowhere near that. It's nowhere near that good. Like, it could have been. I didn't look up the director. I was trying to like gather my thoughts between when I saw it and now. I wanted to think about it a little bit. And I would say, man, to me, KRAVEN's Last Hunt is almost as good as The Crow. And I wonder if Aaron Taylor Johnson read KRAVEN's Last Hunt or any comics. If he tried to just, get a feel. Like, maybe he didn't have time, or even if he did, he was just like, yeah, whatever. But I've read it like multiple times, and it always just gets better. But so none of that's in the movie. It's 2 hours and 7 minutes. It's pretty. I would say it's kind of disjointed. Some weird editing and things that happen just like, I don't know, not like super crazy stuff, but like it has Calypso. And like all towards the end, all of a sudden she's like in a not kind of a costume. Like they don't show her like suiting up or anything. She just like KRAVEN has to fight. He goes. She's at his lair, and then next she's in like a different outfit. It's pretty. Well, that one's it's violent. It's bloody. I really like just how it's not John Wick. It's not The Raid. Craven is just so far removed from that stuff, so that is refreshing for action wise. He doesn't use a gun. Well, in the comic he's used a tranquilizer rifle. I wouldn't care if he used guns, but yeah, Craven doesn't use guns, so like that just takes most of like action stuff off the table right there. I thought the way he fights was cool. You can't show that in the comic books, so that translated well to the screen. I really wish he could have been Scott Adkins as Craven. I thought he'd be so good, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was good. He's like a young Craven. He's not. I guess he's not Craven yet. And this is like an origin story. It's got Russell Crowe, he's like made a comeback. And his fat old man renaissance. So you got him. A lot of CGI animals, which I'd rather see a CGI animal than, no matter, as long as it doesn't look super terrible, than the real animal. So you get a lot of those. The story itself, I guess it's okay. Wouldn't think they would put too much time in. It's not embarrassing though. It's not like, I haven't watched reviews yet, but they just say bad, terrible, horrible, the worst movie. Well, no one said that, but make it seem like it's the worst movie ever made, and it's not that at all. Some good violence. There was one part, as I was watching, I was like, this is pretty violent, it's pretty bloody, but there's no like sickening gore. I wouldn't expect that, but then the dude got split in half through the crotch way, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, that was awesome. So I knew the Rhino and the Chameleon were in it. I did not expect, of all the Marvel characters that they would put in any kind of movie. God damn it! Stop skipping. They put the Foreigner in here, which I just could not believe. The Foreigner. You have to like be deep in the comics to even know who the Foreigner is. And I gotta say, they actually kind of made him look like how he looks in the comic. He doesn't have a costume or anything. He wears sunglasses and like a suit. Maybe he'll take his shirt off. The only thing, I know a little about the Foreigner. I don't think he has powers. They gave him like hypnotizing powers in this. I don't think he has those in the comic. I would think he'd be almost an even match physically in fighting for Kraven. I don't think they've ever gone up against each other in the comics, but also the Foreigner. And then the Foreigner says how his teacher was killed by Kraven, and then he shows like the Rhino a newspaper. It says Hunter like kills Hitman, and I was like, is this the Hitman in the brown and orange costume from Amazing Spider-Man? I was like, it can't be, but who else would it be? I was really like, I was like, okay. When the Foreigner said his mentor, who's like a brother, I was like, okay, who can it be? Because I was like, they have Foreigner, they gotta pick, I don't know, Tombstone or Silvermane, but I guess it was the Hitman. In the comics, the Chameleon is Kraven's cousin, which I always thought was weird. They're two totally different types of villains, but they're related. And I used to not like the Chameleon because his power is he can just like, he's like Mystique. He can just look like anyone. But over the years, I was like, that's an awesome power if you use it right. And I was like, dude, the Chameleon is in a movie. Calypso is in it. Yeah, it had some good. Yeah, it had some good kills at the end. Like he has all these weapons. He's like stabbed a dude in the top of the skull. Buries like this weird like hooked machete in the chest. So overall, like I was pretty tired too when I saw it. I was like dozing off in the very beginning. Also, in the very beginning, he infiltrates a Russian prison, and there is this giant, weird-looking dude. I was like, this guy was worth the price of admission alone. He looks so bizarre. This giant weirdo. And I was like, you're not gonna see this guy walking down the street. For me, I'm giving it 3 Manos Hands of Fate because I like the character so much. Good action. I'm just trying to find the good in it. But I mean, yeah, I really just the weird, like disjointed feeling. Some weird. I thought like this weird like scenes of Kraven walking down the street or just walking into the scene out of nowhere. That kind of that caught my attention. But yeah, it's not terrible. Should you go see it in the theater? I mean, if you love Kraven's Last Hunt as much, I've been waiting for someone to do a review called Kraven's Last Movie, or like Kraven's first and last movie. I mean, yeah, give me more. I guess it just depends how much of a comic fan you are, also, because I hear just all this like comic book movie fatigue. I was like, give me more. Like we haven't even we've just scratched the surface of comic book movie. We got a Bloodshot movie, which wasn't good. But the fact that we got a Bloodshot movie, I was like, dude, we could get a Badger movie, a Grendel movie. I think I've said before, they filmed like an entire Grendel show for I think Amazon, and it just got shelved. I was like, oh my god. Like get a Turok movie, Ninjak. Give me a Ninjak movie, or a Exo Man of War, Scout. Yeah, I mean, these people that, yeah, it bugs me a little bit that people are like cheering on the demise of comic book movies. I guess that's about it. Yeah, I went into it with like low expectations. I was like, this is just going to be horrible, I guess, from what everybody says. But no, it wasn't. Also makes me think of when I went to see The Professional in 1994. I remember reading reviews in the newspaper saying how terrible that movie was, and it was disgusting, and like if you think Natural Born Killers is a violent, like irredeemable movie, The Professional has it beat. And I went to see The Professional. I thought it was great, and that's when like I'm not gonna pay attention to reviews anymore, but you should pay attention to mine because I know what's good and bad and about comics. But yeah, Kraven the Hunter. Like I said, a solid, well, a shaky 3, just because everything like against it. And then what happens to Russell Crowe? I was like, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this movie because I just love the comic and the characters. And he's had a lot of appearances. You know, kind of just didn't they don't change Spider-Man one way or the other, but Kraven's Last Hunt is just a milestone in Spider-Man storytelling, comic books. I mean, and I was thinking they can never make a Kraven's Last Hunt because they're gonna have to build like Spidey's and Kraven's like relationship and the battles that they've had, because it all culminated into Kraven like always getting his ass kicked. But I was like, could be good. Like Aaron Taylor Johnson beating up and like killing what's his name, the kid that plays Spidey, and taking over Spidey's role, like becoming Spider-Man. um, anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Yeah, screw it. Go see it in the theater.